Slender Man. Slender Man is the tall, faceless, reality-warping icon that crawled out of the internet's primordial soup and decided to haunt every piece of found footage like he owns the place. Let's just pause for a second. He doesn't even do much. He just stands there, watching, like your stepdad who pretends he isn't eavesdropping but somehow knows exactly when you broke curfew. His arms, too long. His body, too thin. His vibe, absolute IRS audit. But here's the horrifyingly brilliant part. Slender Man weaponizes negative space. He doesn't chase you, he doesn't roar, he doesn't bleed neon goo. He lingers. He waits until your mind is chewing itself raw, until paranoia is the only language you can think in, and then he moves. The Slenderverse frames him like a bad signal you can't shake. Glitching cameras, distorted audio, static chewing through the screen. He isn't just in the woods, he's in your hardware. He's in the part of your brain that insists you just saw something behind you, but by the time you turn around, it's gone. He's a myth custom built for the 21st century. No ancient tombs, no cursed scrolls, just corrupted files and sleepless kids refreshing forums at 3 a.m. The genius of him is that he's infinite and empty at the same time. He's a modern god with no sermon, no commandments, just presence. And presence, when it stretches out across every corner of your perception, becomes unbearable. Because what's scarier than being hunted? Being studied. What's scarier than being hurt? Being selected. He doesn't just kill you, he edits you out of the world. And admit it, part of you wishes he were real because the modern world is so boring. Work, bills, deadlines. Then this impossible geometry of a man shows up, looming like an omen. Terrifying, yes, but at least it's interesting. At least someone noticed you. Slender Man isn't a monster. He's the hole in the story that eats the story. He's a god written in binary static. He's silence given legs. And if you've ever stared into a dark patch of woods and thought, something is definitely in there, congratulations, you've already prayed to him. The Operator. The Operator is the warped cousin of Slender Man. The Marble Hornets take that stripped him of his creepypasta fluff and turned him into something leaner, hungrier, and infinitely more cinematic. Where Slender Man was folklore, the Operator is surveillance footage gone feral. He doesn't just appear, he interrupts. He censors reality like a cosmic editor with scissors dipped in madness. The camera warps, the sound dies, your nose bleeds, your body revolts. It's not possession. It's not haunting. It's the universe itself glitching because he walked into the shot. And what does he want? Nothing you can bargain with. He isn't Freddy with jokes. He isn't Pennywise with appetites. The Operator is raw erosion. He wears you down until your sanity is moth-eaten, until your life is an endless waiting room where the static never clears. He doesn't punish, he erases. He doesn't feed, he repurposes. Victims become husks, proxies, because once he warps your perception long enough, reality stops being yours to hold on to. There's a violence in his restraint. He doesn't lunge, he looms. He doesn't strike, he lingers. The Operator proves that the deadliest weapon isn't a knife or claws or fire. It's the absence of escape. Imagine God looking at you and deciding you were a typo. That's the Operator. It's why Marble Hornets still feels cursed even on rewatch. The monster isn't just in the frame, it's in the medium. You're not supposed to be seeing this footage. You're trespassing in a digital graveyard, and the Operator is the groundskeeper. Marble Hornets. Marble Hornets is the found footage series that took Slender Man from a weird Photoshop contest entry and injected him directly into the bloodstream of internet horror. Here's the thing, Marble Hornets isn't just scary, it feels radioactive. Every shaky cam, every abrupt cut, every choking silence between words has the flavor of something you weren't supposed to see. It's like sneaking into your neighbor's garage and finding stacks of VHS tapes labeled only with dates. And the deeper you go, the more the footage starts watching you. The plot, if you can even call it that, is this. A student film goes belly up, the footage gets shelved, and someone decides to upload the leftovers. But those leftovers are poisoned. They pulse with paranoia, spirals of sleep deprivation, friends turning into strangers, strangers turning into proxies, proxies turning into nothing. The Operator never has to say a word because the camera does the screaming for him. The brilliance is in the gaps. Nothing is explained outright, which means your brain has to fill in the rot yourself. Every time you think you've figured it out, Another mask appears, another cough in the background, another video uploaded at 3 a.m. with no context. It's horror by erosion. By the time you realize how far down the rabbit hole you are, you've already given hours of your life to this cursed spiral. And you'd give more. Because once the static gets inside your head, normal video feels dead. It's not binge watching, it's self-infection. TribeTwelve. TribeTwelve is the YouTube nightmare that cranks Slenderverse from unsettling to apocalyptic. Marble Hornets whispered. TribeTwelve screams. It's all about Noah, a guy who thinks he's just investigating his cousin's death, only to find himself dragged into a war between ancient horrors that make Slender Man look like a cranky landlord. Where Marble Hornets is all shaky realism, TribeTwelve is sharp and cruel. Glitches become weapons. Distortions rip through the frame like knives. You don't just watch the corruption, you're attacked by it. It's the internet horror equivalent of being waterboarded with corrupted MP4 files. And the masked order? The collective? Oh, they're not just spooky little minions. They're fully fleshed out conspiracies that slither between every video, making you question whether Noah is losing his mind or whether the universe has always been rigged to collapse. It's existential dread turned interactive puzzle. The magic of TribeTwelve is that it doesn't let you stay a spectator. The ARG elements, hidden codes, cryptic websites, numbers in the static, force you to become complicit. You can't just watch, you have to decipher. And in deciphering, you've already let the rot in. You're part of the collective now. Congratulations. If Marble Hornets was the quiet dream where you wake up sweating, TribeTwelve is the fever where your skin melts into the bedsheets and your alarm clock starts speaking Latin. EverymanHYBRID. EverymanHYBRID is the moment the Slenderverse stopped being just creepy and became a full-blown fever dream. It starts as a fake fitness YouTube channel, guys giving tips about push-ups, sit-ups, maybe drinking more water. It's laughably harmless, until the background starts shifting, until the fitness advice dissolves into cryptic fragments of nightmares and Slender Man walks on set like he's part of the crew. The brilliance here is betrayal. EverymanHYBRID doesn't announce itself as horror. It tricks you. It's the uncanny valley of tone. The series weaponizes sincerity. You trust the goofy workout bros because who could possibly lie about calorie burning? And then one episode later, you're knee-deep in dead rabbits, missing people, and ARG puzzles that make Marble Hornets look like Sesame Street. What makes Hybrid a monster isn't the operator, it's the ecosystem of paranoia it creates. It's too sprawling, too tangled, a labyrinth of accounts, fake Twitter feeds, hidden websites, in-jokes that mutate into threats. Watching Hybrid is like trying to follow the world's most cursed Dungeons & Dragons campaign, except the dungeon master is Slender Man and the dice are loaded with your nightmares. By the end, you realize you never signed up for a horror series, you signed up for a cult. And the worst part? It feels fun. Like a haunted carnival ride that never stops, no matter how many times you want to get off. The Rake. The Rake is the uninvited guest at the Slenderverse dinner table. Imagine Slender Man had a pet, except the pet crawls around like a naked corpse spider, whispers in your sleep, and has the manners of a feral ghoul that's been chain-smoking asbestos. What makes the Rake horrifying is not that it kills. Lots of creatures kill. The Rake haunts. It slips into bedrooms at night, crouches at the foot of the bed, and just watches. Sometimes it touches, sometimes it speaks, but always it takes something away. Your sanity, your loved ones, your sense that closing your eyes equals safety. And while Slender Man thrives in forests, in camera glitches, in the liminal spaces between, the Rake is far more personal. It invades homes. It violates the most primal sense of safety humans have, the illusion that your bedroom is yours. It's the mold in your walls, the scratching in your attic, the thing that when you wake up at 3:12 a.m., you swear you saw crouched in the corner, but the second you turn on the light, it's gone. And what's worse? The Rake doesn't even belong exclusively to the Slenderverse. It's like a stray virus that's infected multiple mythologies, showing up in creepypasta after creepypasta. It's the unwanted guest that refuses to leave, and maybe that's why it's terrifying. You never invited it, but it's already inside. The Observer. The Observer is not Slender Man. The Observer is worse. He's not the monster, he's the archivist. The stalker, the creeper with the camera, the one who sees everything, records everything, and then taunts you with it. Picture this: you're living your life, trying to survive being hunted by a faceless cosmic nightmare, and then some masked lunatic shows up to document your suffering like it's his personal Netflix binge. That's the observer. He's the voice behind the curtain, the glitch in the feed, the figure who takes delight in reminding you, you're not crazy. I see it too. I see you. And he's funny, in the way a sadist is funny. His messages drip with sarcasm, dark humor, mocking commentary on the chaos unfolding. He's like if Deadpool had a YouTube channel entirely dedicated to psychological torture. The real horror of the observer isn't his mask, his editing tricks, or even his allegiance to the operator. It's his detachment. He enjoys this. He's not running, not fighting, not even worshiping. He's just observing. Like a scientist watching a lab rat suffocate, curious, amused, entertained. And deep down, that's scarier than any monster. The idea that your pain is just someone else's content. Dark Harvest. Dark Harvest is the Slenderverse's chaotic cousin, the one who drinks too much at the family barbecue and decides to fight a lawnmower. It's a YouTube series that documents two guys, Chris and Alex, who stumble into the operator's web, and instead of playing it cool or methodical like Marble Hornets, they crank everything to 11. Guns, fire, reckless choices, chaos. If Marble Hornets was a slow-burn psychological thriller, Dark Harvest is found-footage jackass with cosmic horror lurking behind the dumpster. But don't mistake the absurd energy for a lack of terror. Dark Harvest thrives on unpredictability. One episode might be comedy, the next a brutal murder, the next an ominous monologue about inevitability. It swings violently between tones, and that's what makes it horrifying. You can never anchor yourself. Chris and Alex are protagonists who are both likable and insufferable. They're brash, reckless, and clearly in over their heads. But you keep watching because their chaos feels real. Like two dumb 20-somethings who actually would try to fight a faceless monster with a crowbar. And beneath the chaos, there's a core of tragedy. These guys are doomed, and deep down they know it. They distract themselves with jokes and rage, but the operator keeps circling, like a shark waiting for the thrashing to stop. Dark Harvest isn't elegant, it isn't clean, it's messy, violent, unhinged, and that makes it one of the rawest expressions of the Slenderverse. The Collective. The Collective is the Slenderverse's answer to the question, what if paranoia wasn't enough? What if there was also a hive mind of puppets pulling strings behind the scenes? And the answer is, you lose. The Collective is less a group and more an infection. It's a hive consciousness of proxies, humans controlled, consumed, or corrupted by the operator. Some of them are violent, some cunning, some seemingly sympathetic, but all are strands in a web with a single purpose: to spread the operator's influence. What makes them terrifying isn't just the violence, it's the loss of self. Imagine your friend one day starts acting off. Maybe they laugh at the wrong times. Maybe they forget details about their life. Maybe they call you by a nickname they shouldn't know. And then one day you realize your friend isn't your friend anymore. Their body is just a rented suit being worn by something faceless. The Collective adds this layer of paranoia to the Slenderverse where you can't trust anyone. It's not just a monster lurking in the woods anymore. It's your roommate, your sibling, the person you love. They could be smiling at you while secretly funneling your fear straight into the operator's claws. It's betrayal weaponized. It's invasion by consentless possession. And it forces the ugliest question of them all. If the operator took me, would I even know? Or would I just smile and laugh and keep pretending I was myself? The audience. The audience isn't a single channel, a character, or even a narrative. It's us. The hungry, sleepless mob glued to YouTube, watching grainy uploads of kids being psychologically shredded by a faceless monster and begging for more in the comments section. The audience is the unseen monster behind the monster. The ones who kept clicking, refreshing, theorizing, memeing, demanding new footage like junkies itching for a fix. Think about it. The operator doesn't need to chase when thousands of viewers are already amplifying his myth, spreading him through reposts, edits, creepypasta rewrites. The audience is a cult without rituals, a congregation without a priest, worshiping chaos with Wi-Fi and patience. We blurred the line between entertainment and intrusion, laughing at the shaky cameras while forgetting that, at least in the story, those cameras were catching someone's last sane moments. And maybe that's the most sinister layer of the Slenderverse. It isn't just found footage horror, it's a mirror. It's the reminder that horror thrives because people feed it, nurture it, carry it across forums and timelines like a digital infection. The operator's power? Sure, eldritch cosmic terror, but the audience's power? Endlessly replaying the trauma until it's immortal. We became the reason these stories mattered. We gave the Slenderverse permanence, oxygen, teeth. And doesn't that make you wonder? If the monster is made real by attention, by obsession, by relentless focus, what exactly do you think we've been summoning all this time?